Hey guys. Well, I'm going to film the intro for today's video. I'm actually partway through already. So I'll spin you around here in a minute and show you what we're doing, but we're working on more details, trying to finish basically all of the exterior details on the Super C vintage camper on a truck, whatever you want to call it. And that gets us so that we can take this thing to shows for the summer. And then through the summer, I'll pick away at the interior. We got electrical, plumbing, interior finishes, paint, furniture. Not that much, but it's a lot. And it's not going to happen before my show season starts. So I want to get everything done on the outside so it looks complete. And then we can pick away at it before we actually start staying in it. So today's video will cover just about that. So we're going to work on the roof. That's got to get completed. Sealing it, coating it, and the solar, at least the roof portion of the solar. We've got to work on black tank, gray tank, finish up the propane with some parts I got. That's most of it. A few other little details, so bear with me. Spin you around. We'll show you what we got. So we're up here on the roof today tackling this project, and I've already gone through and removed. So there's a vent over there, a furnace, there's a pipe vent over there that I no longer need, furnace vent here, and I don't remember what this one was for, but anyway, these are all going away, and then the old roof vent is staying, albeit with a new one. So I've already scraped off, pulled these off, scraped everything off, and you can see, cut the patches, got some mastic on the bottom of those. So the plan here is we are going to install these 4. Then I'll come in and put the roof coating on, the RV roof coating. And then when that's dry, later today, tomorrow, whatever, I'll get up and I will do self-leveling on everything. All of the seams and the steels, the end caps, and then all these patches, any protrusions. At that point is when we will do the solar install, and we'll see where they fit, but there's 3 panels. They may go across the front, they may be in the middle, I don't know. We'll figure it out, so we'll get to it. All right, so it's the next day, and I'll show you in a second some things I did without you. But first, it's later than I want, and it's already hotter than I want on that roof to do the solar. But that's because I decided I had to organize my barn. And I know it doesn't look organized because we've got a whole bunch of GMT 400 parts sitting over there. But hopefully in a week or 2, those are going to be gone. But in the meantime, I can see my benches again. Got some things put away, got some things unpacked and organized and swept. This is a little closer to how I like to function. Excuse me, I don't do well with messes and just gets me frazzled. So I'll show you in a second what we've done, but here are today's projects. So I've got a dual propane regulator kit. I did order the wrong nut. I ordered a new hold down T. I ordered a nut, but as you can see, that is not 1/2 inch. So gotta remember, I gotta order another one of those or just use a real nut. And we got our lighting and all of our pigtails for that light bar. Paint for another project. wipers for another project, gate latches and wheel for another project. The big one though that I want to accomplish today is the solar. So this is the same solar kit that I put on my 42-foot fifth wheel. There's a video on it from last year, last year, 2023 sometime. So I've got 3 100-watt panels, and then just a basic kit, a fairly basic charge controller, the Adventurer. Comes with a Bluetooth module, which is somewhat handy. The mounting kits for the roof, all of our splitters for the power cables, and then the very important pass-through. And we've got our, so there's our wires for the panel side, and then there's our wires post-charge controller. So everything we need to get to the batteries, which aren't even installed yet, but regardless, that's project number 1 for today. Then project number 2 is going to be wiring the lights. I can be down in the shade for that, so that's fun. And then the third project is the propane, which is pretty straightforward. I might have to paint those tanks. We'll see how they clean up, but I've got two good 20-pound propane tanks. So, but we can get all that set. Yeah, and so I'll show you what I did yesterday. So I didn't bring you along, but the waste tank, I can't call it a black or a gray because it's going to be a combo, but it is mounted. So you can see what I did. It's all painted. I used some 3/4 inch angle as support, so that comes down from my cage frame that this pulls up into. And I did put those lower bars, 2 of them are flat stock and 1 of them is some of that 3/4 angle. I did that because that's what I had. Those lower bars aren't really supporting anything. They are there more to keep those outside edges square and keep them from bending out. What's holding it is that piece of angle you can see right there. It runs all the way through. That's what catches that lip. That's the intended lift point. So those are there on both sides. And we've got our outlet over there. I ordered all my black CPVC or whatever they are. They're not CPVC. I don't remember what they are. HP something. I don't remember. They're a different sort of plastic. ABS plastic. Thank you. So I ordered that and the glue, everything I need, all my waste valves, everything is ordered. Should be here from sometime this week, so we can tackle those. And then I got my other waste tank mocked up, but I realized I ordered a bulkhead fitting for the 1.5 inch inlet. I can't see it right now, but I'm going to adapt that. Previously was a fill. I'm going to adapt that to be we're going to adapt to 3 inches using a Fernco fitting, and you can yell at me if you think that's not the right thing to use, but I'm going to. Anyways, you might as well save your breath, but we're going to adapt to a Fernco to 3 inch black, and then that valve will be sitting right here. I'll probably support it off of the trailer frame. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I ordered that bulkhead fitting, but I realized bulkhead fitting, you have to have access to the inner wall in order to install it and tighten it, and I don't have that. So now I have since ordered a weld-in 1.5 inch aluminum bung, and I don't have the ability to TIG weld at the moment, so I'll be taking that to my fabrication shop, and they can get that bung welded in for me. But what's going to happen is that inlet will be somewhere right over here in that corner, and then our pipe's coming down from the inside right up here, so we can get that through with some gravity drop, still clear the door for the underbody box, and we're in good shape. So that's going to come down, but regardless, that's where that tank is going to sit. And side view, yes, we can see our tanks. It's okay. You know, I know that having a garage or something like that would be awesome, but it just doesn't suit me. I like the look of seeing functionality on trucks. I know most people don't. Most people like to shave things and hide them and whatever. It's just how I am. I like to see tanks and steps and filters and stuff. I like the mechanics of things, so we can make them pretty and still see the functionality, and that's just how I build things. So you may not like that, but that's how I am. So regardless, that's why we're not doing full skirts or anything like that. It's also just for what this is and what we're using it for. It's just not worth the money for me. So All right, on to today's tasks. Guys, overall too, just keep in mind, I appreciate you commenting, obviously appreciate you watching and liking and subscribing and all those things. But do keep in mind, I didn't embark on this build on a whim. This has been almost a year in the making, almost a year in planning. So everything that has been done that you're seeing condensed into a short little 25 or so minute video has been predated by hours and hours of research and planning. I have a book full of sketches and notes and measurements, literally page after page after page of how this was going to work. So I bought the trailer with all that in mind. I built everything with all that in mind. So I appreciate the comments, but don't think that I'm just winging this, basically. So everything here is done for a reason, and when you comment on something, I'll be happy to give you my reasoning for why I did it the way I did. But little to none of it is just random. So just keep that in mind. Everything's for a purpose.
Because it's all part of the plan.
So in this video, I want to address, I've had a bunch of comments. Yes, I read all the comments. I try to respond to every single one. I've had a bunch of comments because obviously this video had a lot more reach than what a lot of my other truck videos have had. So that's awesome. But I knew that would happen because of the nature of this, what it is. But a lot of them centered around, hey, you don't have enough frame. That truck's too short. Frame's too short. You should have extended the frame. And yes, the frame ends right there. Back of the trailer's right there. I'm gonna show you something, guys. And I'm sorry, but I'm proving you wrong. So if you see that right there, get you in there. That's the old hanger and bushing for the rear of the leaf spring that was originally on the trailer. The forward one got cut out. So yes, this axle is probably about 4 to 6 inches farther up than what the axle on the trailer was. I'll give you that, 4 to 6 inches. But if you see that bar right there, and that whole bar right there all the way back, that's the original trailer frame. I sectioned it right here to get around my tires and axle, but that right there, you see that? That's the old trailer frame all the way to the front. The old frame is intact. And then that right there is a 2-inch subframe. Quarter wall, 2-inch tube, one on each side. That also extends almost all the way to the back. It goes back to the rearmost cross member that was originally on the trailer. So what I'm getting at here is that this was the rearmost support point and on the trailer as it was built. My frame extends from that point to that point. It's about 12 to 14 inches farther than what the trailer was originally supported at. Then we have a subframe that extends about 30 inches beyond that, and then the trailer frame goes the whole way. So I know it seems like it's too short, but trust me guys, this is well over supported beyond what the trailer ever was. Just like any other Super C motorhome, something like that. There's more than just the truck frame. There's more than meets the eye to what you see on the outside of this. So appreciate the comments, but no, the frame doesn't need to be any longer. There is no reason for it. In fact, if it was, it would be in the way of tanks and other things that I need to make happen.
I got a message for all of them, right? Shake and bake.
What does that do? Did that blow your mind? That just happened.
What is that, a catchphrase or is that epilepsy?
Okay, so I've got everything assembled, got all my tools, everything needed to take up on the roof with me. And when I did my fifth wheel, how the layout had to be of the panels around everything else, because that roof is very cluttered with stuff. Even though it's 42 feet long, there's a lot of stuff. There's AC units, there's many, many vents, there's many, many pipe vents, there's lots of stuff. At any rate, this roof is wide open except for one vent. So I can put 3 in a row right the way I want it. And I know where the cross members are because the ceiling's open right now. So what I was able to do is pre-mount the brackets, and I was able to put them on the ends. So because of the length of the wires in these kits, these panels have to go pretty close to each other in order for all these couplers to be able to reach. So that's great, unless you have to mount to the side. On the fifth wheel, I had to mount the brackets on the side because of cross-member spacing and where it had to go. So long story short, I don't have to worry about that here. So I could have consistent end mounted. That means I could pre-install the brackets here in the barn. And show you what I did is, you can see there's a couple 2x2s. So I took some bowed 2x2s that I had sitting around that I couldn't really use because they were so bowed, as 2x2s generally are, which worked really well for the natural arch in this roof. So I also reinforced some of the other ones where they needed it. My trompsing around up there yesterday, coating the roof, some of them were a little looser than I'd like, so we squared that away, and we added one at the correct 44-inch spacing that I need. So it works out really, really well. So now I can go up there, and it also happened to work out that it was right over a seam, so that's pretty handy. So I can mark everything. I can also feel it really well up there, but regardless, we'll get up there and get the panels mounted and get the wire loomed, and then I'm gonna bring the wires down. I've kind of got this chase right here, this build out I had to do to support my AC unit, and that's gonna work really well to chase the wires down. And then I'll probably actually mount the charge controller, possibly even external, right in this area, depending what else I put for storage here. But anyway, charge controller, whether it's inside this bed cabinet or outside, one way or the other, or maybe even on the wall right up in here. Either way, I got lots of options. I got to chase, and I can do all that work without being on the roof. I don't like being on RV roofs. This is what they're all built like, with 2x2s, and I don't trust it. So I don't want to be up there any more than I have to be.
I'd better not. I have what doctors call a little bit of a weight problem.
Okay, so you saw the solar get buttoned up. That's all done. We're off the roof. The roof is complete. I'm on to wiring a light bar. And this is why I love junction boxes. So I put a junction box in here when I built the truck, and I now need a different number of feeds. It's also why I love color-coded wires properly. So out of each side here, we've got a stop. Green for right turn, yellow over there for left turn, white for ground, brown for tails. So I've got too many tail feeds, too many stop feeds too, because I use this as a splitter to go to each side. So now I'm going to do a single feed back to the light bar. So, but it's as simple now as taking off some of these eyelet connectors, and now we don't have to have dangling wires. We don't have to have oddball splices. So much easier. So when we get to work, we'll get the right number of feeds out of here, and then we'll do some Western Unions and splice out so we get enough length to get back to the light bar. And I finally get to use, I bought this like 2 months ago, finally get to use my Milwaukee M18 cordless soldering iron. So we'll see how that goes. I'm excited for that. All right, guys, well, it's all loomed, it's all wired. I didn't bring you along because wiring's boring, but 100% Western Union, that Milwaukee cordless M12 soldering iron is awesome. Nice between that and the heat gun is everything's completely cordless. But all right, let's test these out. I've not tried anything, so if it's not right, you'll be the first to see it with me. Well, did they work? All right, so yes, they worked. They didn't work at first because I realized the truck hadn't been started in 2 weeks, so it had no air. And brake light switches in air pressure systems rely on air pressure in order to function. So anyway, we let it build some air and everything works right. So, and yes, I do know I do have LEDs in those centers. I was gonna go with 2-inch and then the holes were too big, so we went with the 2.5-inch rounds. And all I have in those is LEDs, so I'll pick up some incandescents because that is period correct and that is what we want. So, but regardless, everything works. All right, on to steps and propane tanks. All right, guys, well, hopefully you can see that. So based on what you can see right now, I think it's pretty clear what we're about to do. We're gonna see if we can get this thing on the trailer. I'm obviously quite confident that it'll go on the trailer. My question is, will my F450 climb? No, I see an issue. The F450 is not going to climb with my trailer hitch in, and my trailer hitch is kind of stuck in there at the moment. So I see no way that it's going to clear. We'll try to drive it on forward and see what happens. I don't know. But anyway, the goal is, can the F450 and the Loadstar fit? When I do want to take a vehicle, I may take a different vehicle, but regardless, let's try. All right, it's time for the ultimate test. We're golden, guys. 12 foot 11 inches to the top where the tape was sitting. We'll add 4 inches, 5 inches, say, just in case. It's probably not even 4, to be honest with you, to the top of the solar and that vent, and that still puts us at 12 foot 3, or I'm sorry, 13 foot 3 to 13 foot 4 max. A lot of calculations. But we made it. And if that truck fits, then 100% someday when that L9000 needs to fit on the trailer with it, that also will fit for sure. Because the 450 is longer than the L9000 by a couple feet. So we have plenty of room. And there it is. So guys, I waited till it was on the trailer to show you the last bit of work I did. That is, we got the steps permanently installed. Got a little paint on them. I can't get the aluminum treads off because I stopped after 3 of the fasteners where they're steel fasteners into aluminum, and they are not coming out. So I don't want to break any more. So yep, they're staying. So we painted around them. But we got the notches so that they stow completely. Like right now, it is stowed completely where it should be. So everything is sitting hunky-dory. Still have to do the door kick trim. Did a shot coat of silver paint, so it's a little retro look on my rusty old 20-pounders. And still have to fasten the regulator assembly, but that's all. It's just hanging there for the moment, but it is there. So she's looking like something. She really is. Man, that looks tough on that freaking rig. Man. Well, we're only about 3 weeks away. 3 weeks from this rolling down the road. And the last time I took a long trip, well, I take that back. The third to the last time I took a long trip. This truck has had 2 good trips under its belt. I think we got all the bugs worked out for the time being. She sat for 20 years, so a few bugs are to be expected, but we lost the starter on this trip to this same show I'm going to last year, and got stranded for a few hours until Good Samaritan got me pull started and on the road, and I don't want to run that risk again. So that F450 is going purely as a just in case. Just in case the truck doesn't make it, then my daughter and I can, I don't know, get to a hotel or leave the rig sitting in a parking lot and run home and worry about it another time, whatever. We've got options, we've got transportation, so yeah. All right, guys, I am a sweaty mess. It is almost 85 degrees right now in May, which is cool, but it's spicy. But that's going to do it for this video. So we got a whole lot of things accomplished. That truck, that camper is officially ready to sit outside and be in the weather, go down the road. I took it for a drive, but I forgot to push start on the old phone, so you actually didn't get to see that. Dang, fly is after me. But anyway, you got to see all the little bits and pieces we did. Everything's sealed, everything's done on the outside within reason. There's a few bits and pieces, but this project is actually going to park now for a while, and I have other stuff I have to work on, and we've got truck shows we got to get to with that. So as I said, just I beg of you, don't underestimate me, in that don't think that this was on a wing and a prayer. All of this was planned from the moment I got the idea almost a year ago the purchase of the camper, how I built the subframe, the purchase of the trailer, everything about this whole thing was intentional. So with that being said, guys, I really appreciate the hell out of you watching this series. I know it's slow, but I only got so much time. Work 60, 70 hours a week, and this is weekend on top of normal chores, which, speaking of that, I gotta go get that lawnmower right there and mow the lawn before it gets dark. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna unload this thing, park this stuff, and get to some yard work and some family time. Y'all take care. Have a great week.